On this episode of the Airport Economist, we visit India, one of the world's emerging economic superpowers and the most populous nation on earth. Why has the southern city of Bengaluru become known as India's Silicon Valley? We find out. Plus, Make in India. We look at advanced manufacturing and research and development in Chennai, the Detroit of India. We find out how India has become a leader in the space race. And what are the opportunities for Australian businesses in this dynamic, vast economy? We'll speak to the experts about what you need to know. I'm Tim Harcourt, the Airport Economist, and I'm here in Bengaluru, in the south of India. A city that's known as the Silicon Valley of India, as it is the global centre of India's amazing IT industry that's so famous all over the world. I'm going to take you on a tour of two of India's most important southern cities, Bengaluru and here in Chennai, as both are symbolic of India's re-emergence as a global economic superpower. We will look at India's competitive strengths in IT and software, engineering, but also defence, aviation, and the exciting new frontiers in space and AI. We will also look at Make in India, India's massive investment in advanced manufacturing. I'm going to talk to key Indian diplomats, business leaders and entrepreneurs, as well as international representatives who have based themselves in southern India as a launchpad for the whole global economy. Welcome to India. India is a land of both ancient civilizations and cultures, but also one of the drivers of economic and technical progress in the 21st century. India has a GDP of over 3.5 trillion US dollars, but spread over a massive 1.4 billion people. It is growing at an impressive 7 to 8% a year, but even with this large population, India's economic projections are mind-blowing. India is already the world's third largest economy, and by 2035, its share of global GDP is projected to be on par with the United States on a purchasing power parity basis. India's population is projected to be 1.6 billion people, easily the world's most populous country by 2035, across 29 diverse states with 640 million Indians living in cities, hence India's emphasis on smart cities. India's main export destinations are the USA, the UAE, Netherlands, China and the UK. Its main import sources are China, Russia, UAE, USA and Saudi Arabia. India is a major player on the world stage and has strong diplomatic ties with Australia through the G20, the Quad Leaders Summit and the East Asia Summit. Australia has an Indian economic strategy to 2035 to take advantage of India's industrial scale. Chennai is central to that strategy. I spoke to the Australian Consul General to find out more. So Consul General, welcome to the show.
Thank you, it's a pleasure to be here.
Now it's very interesting that the Australian Consul General is based in Chennai. How important is Chennai to the economy of India as a whole?
So traditionally that post was selected because Chennai, the Consulate General in Chennai was responsible for all of South India, We've recently expanded our footprint in South India and opened a consulate in Bengaluru as well. Chennai has traditionally been a manufacturing and industrial hub for India, and there's excellent universities there, so people from all over India were coming to study there. For Australia, we have a strong Tamil population in Australia, and it's on the coast looking at the Bay of Bengal, a strategically important area for us as a country to have a post there.
I noticed in Chennai, I've been visiting Chennai for many years, I've noticed it sort of as the Detroit of India on one hand with the automotive sector and manufacturing, a huge port, and also the universities, it seems to be very much a higher education city as well.
Yeah, and that's all correct, but they're really embracing tech and new industries and fields. So if you look at Tamil Nadu as a state, it's really trying to take advantage of India's comparative advantages, a young population, educating them, and then trying to build industries of the future. So there's electronics happening there. I mean, Apple iPhones, if you've bought an iPhone recently, there's a chance that it was built in Tamil Nadu.
So it's manufacturing new industries as well as the traditional sort of old scale automotive and so on?
Yes.
I'd imagine that renewable energy, EVs, the green future, a lot of that's emanates from Chennai as well.
Absolutely, and this is where we see a lot of complementarities for Australia, because as all our countries work towards net zero by 2050, we need to partner with other countries in the region to get there. And in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai, they're looking at expanding the production of EVs, as well as there's hydrogen being produced in southern Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu was a very early adopter for wind technology, and we actually think there's, between Australia's Future Made in Australia program and India's Make in India, there's a lot of complementarities where we can work together to ensure Australia meets its goals and India meets its goals towards net zero.
I was interested in that because, India's a big place, it's got great scale, it's got great science and technology. What's Australia's sort of offering to India from our point of view?
So Australia obviously has a lot of advanced technologies, and we think that India can grow that to scale. There's a lot of manufacturing opportunities in India for Australian companies, and obviously exporting to the world from there. We've had great companies like Callington set up their manufacturing business in Chennai and Tamil Nadu more broadly, and from there they've been able to grow their business servicing the rest of the world.
Do you think generally for Australian companies basing themselves in Chennai, it's been quite a straightforward place to set up? There's a similar legal system, widespread English in business, so is that some of the advantages of India and Chennai in particular?
I think language is the greatest advantage. The fact that the English is such a high level, and we share that common language. Having lived in other countries and operating in different languages, I know it can sometimes be hard to do business when you're working through a translator or trying to speak the language yourself. But I think for Australian companies, we would always recommend that they speak to Austrade and speak to them about what the best entry into India might be for them. Since we've signed the ECTA agreement, more and more companies are looking to expand their footprint both ways.
And ECTA is the Economic Cooperation Trade Agreement. It's like a free trade agreement with investment as well, right?
Yes.
So has that seen a big influx of companies now into Chennai as a result of the agreement, or India in general?
Yeah, I think what ECTA has done is reset the mindset that we previously had. I think for a long time people were thinking India's too hard, it's too difficult to get into, but ECTA was the driving force that has enabled a lot of companies to relook at India and actually realise there's been a lot of reforms introduced, and ECTA provides Australians with an advantage. We're one of very few countries that has a trade agreement with India, and Australian companies should be looking at taking advantage of what it offers them.
Export processing zones have been established all over India to facilitate trade and foreign investment. I spoke to the Development Commissioner of the Madras Zone to find out his vision for the local economy. So welcome to the Airport Economist.
Thank you.
Now, for investors and exporters around the world, why would they consider Chennai and the Madras export processing zone as a place to do business?
If you look at our presence when it comes to global value chain, Chennai ranks as a very important destination for the global value chain. To tell you about the diversity of exports that happens from this place, we all know about the HSN codes, which governs the type of things that are exported. Out of that, close to 83 to 85% of articles are manufactured in this particular province called Tamil Nadu. So that shows the diversity of articles that are manufactured, the strength this state has, this province has in terms of say potential investments, potential skills, and components being manufactured in one single province. So that diversity, because global value chains require multiple components to finally build in one single product. And if you see this much of diversity happening in one province, that shows that how important a destination this province is, just Chennai and Tamil Nadu is.
If I'm a investor or exporter looking at the export processing zone here, what sort of incentives do you provide on behalf of the government here?
The biggest incentive we offer is that there are no import duties for any components that are being manufactured, both on the capex as well as on the opex fronts. And further, if you are a complete export player, you are also exempted from the local taxes, what we call as GST. So this alone would contribute anywhere close to savings of around 30 to 45%. Mostly if the basic customs duty is around 15 to 18%, 25%, or GST around 18%. That itself is a huge savings when it comes to capex and opex for such units. And over and above that, we also have a green channel for customs clearances. There's a separate field unit which operates at the disposal of the Development Commissioner in the special economic zones, and as we speak, Tamil Nadu has the highest number of special economic zones, functional ones, close to 52. So all of them, these are all islands of excellence where we've been able to push exports, and Tamil Nadu does around 1.76 lakh crores of exports from the special economic zones alone, both services and manufacturing put together. That's the strength we have in the SEZ ecosystem.
Is it mainly for Indian companies or for foreign investors?
There are all kinds of investments. These are mostly foreign investments. If you see, there are companies like ZF, which are just German ones, and we have Renault, and there are a lot of global majors operating. From pharma side, we have AstraZeneca. You name the sector, every sector has got a lot of foreign investment present inside the special economic zones.
So you have aviation, you have manufacturing, you have healthcare, biomedical, and so on. So if I'm an Australian business or foreign investor wanting to do business here, who do I call? Do I call you, or is there a website, or what do I do?
So we do have a website, and we have a very open and accessible office. We have a very small team, and I'll just tell you about how we do clearances, approvals and stuff like that. Our average clearance time for a new unit stands at somewhere around 7 to 9 days. That's Godspeed. So, the office is open, the portal is open, our emails are open, and anybody from Australia who wants to start business here, I can promise that your business will take off in Godspeed here.
Still to come, you're thinking of doing business in India? Well, how's it done and how do you get around? Stay with us and you'll find out. Let's go, mate.